Yep. Happy New Year, guys. Happy 2023. Has it been a good one so far?
Happy New Year, everybody. In Trading Places.
Amazing movie.
I'm surprised you've seen that movie.
My mom taught me well.
That's a classic, that is.
Fucking
My
love
mom
that.
taught me well.
One of my favourites. Jamie Lee Curtis looked good in that. Have you seen her lately, though? She looks fucking hot. She's about 70 years old, isn't she?
Some say that she's the best chest in Hollywood back in the day.
Man.
She's in that, is it Knives Out?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's her... Was she in that?
She's in Knives Out, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the new one?
Yeah, the new one.
Yeah.
She's the daughter of the guy that got killed.
I can't fucking remember it that now. Fucking hell, she must have looked
Yeah, it came out last week.
She must have been fucking haggard.
All right, so our next topic, we're going to talk about 1993 Dorian Yates versus 2022 Hadi Choopan.
Do we all think, because me and Simon had a bit of a disagreement, do we prefer 93 Dorian or 95 Dorian?
I prefer 92.
The smaller version, Helsinki.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right, let's break this down then.
That's more comparable to... That would have been a better comparison to Hadi, wouldn't it?
92. Dorian was just smallest though, wasn't it? I think.
Well, Hadi is the biggest, isn't he?
Yeah.
Dorian was probably about 250 odd there, and Hadi's
257 he was in here.
Yeah.
257, Hadi was what, 232 or something?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It would have been a better comparison because the Dorian's first Olympia versus Hadi's first Olympia win.
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting by the best looks.
Or so-called best or best so far.
So Dorian's 5'10", isn't he? So he's 257. Hadi's 5'5" and 232, whatever. So
pound for pound, Hadi's a bigger person.
So friend of a bicep, which
are we doing this pose for pose?
We do pose for pose, and whoever got the most is the winner.
Okay. Go on, Zach. You can start.
Well, this obviously is Hadi's, isn't it? Let's be realistic. This is Dorian's weakest pose.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, one thing what people need to realize is what doesn't translate onto these pictures is the texture of the muscle, the density of their muscle. It's fucking 3D. Picture, I mean, and
stature as well.
And also, what doesn't translate on here is basically what's it now? The detail. You know what I mean? It's just not about having feathers all over. It's just the way the person is put together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, Joe, what would you give out of this pose? Would you give it Hadi or Dorian?
I'd give the overall pose flow, condition, separation, aesthetics, and size to Hadi. I think Dorian probably edges on detail, upper body and lower body, more detail in the arms, biceps, triceps. Obviously, the lats are comparable in this pose, but I think
Hadi did better with that pose because of his stomach.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's tight in the section.
He's got the bigger on the quads. He's got the
bigger arms.
Yeah.
But I think Hadi flows better in this pose. So to me, Hadi wins this pose.
Okay, so that's Hadi 1. Okay, next pose. Front of a
Game over.
Dorian.
You know what? It's hard to get some good pictures of Hadi.
Yeah.
So I think this is Dorian's probably one of his best poses.
Oh man, there's not many people can beat Dorian on that pose. Sorry.
No, I don't think anyone beats Dorian in the front lat spread.
No, it's mental.
Hadi's upper body looks a bit softer in it compared to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad pose for Hadi. It's not a bad pose for him.
Yeah, I think the difference here as well is you can actually see the lats of Dorian.
Yeah.
Because of the way Hadi's pose in the shot. Yeah, as well. He's pulling the arm forward. So
Yeah, the thing is, I'm not only looking at Dorian's lats there, I'm just looking at the silhouette. You know what I mean? Yeah, the silhouette, looks better.
So Dorian, so Hadi won and Dorian won. Next pose, side chest.
So this is where it gets interesting now.
Yeah.
It's more of a pick-em sign of what do you like?
Like if I'm on that one, I like the way Hadi does that pose compared to Dorian.
Yeah.
Like I said before, I mean, Dorian had never had the best chest or arms, but he made that pose really good.
Yeah, exactly, because he didn't have the best arms. You know what I mean?
So who would you give that to, Hadi or Dorian?
I would just give it the edge to Hadi, maybe because it's the picture. Yeah.
I think. What about the lower body? Because obviously the side chest was hit different back in the 90s compared to now.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Everyone's sort of down like Phil Heath, don't they, when they do the side chest? The side,
that's sort of Ever since
they need to hold it for longer rather than they do a side chest straight into a side tricep.
Jay Cutler started sitting down in the side chest, and then Phil did it obviously, and now everybody seems to do it.
And they twist round more as well, so you can offer their pecs.
Yeah. I'd probably give this one to Hadi overall.
Yeah, I think Hadi's he's like more compact as well. So
yeah, he's like he looks more dense than that, but you know what I mean, more muscle bounding up.
But then again, you pull up 95 Dorian, I'd probably give it to Dorian.
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking about 93, okay. So
all right.
Lat spread.
I would give it to okay, that's a hard one though. It's like the upper body, I'll give it to Dorian, and the lower body, like.
Thing is, Hadi's back looks wider than Dorian's there, doesn't it? Especially like his actual lats.
Yeah,
would it transfer onto stage?
But the thing about it is, they hold the pose different now as well.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, in them days, they would hold their legs together more. Now, they fucking spread their legs up so wide like they're riding a horse.
Yeah. But to me, the pose is real lat spread. So it's about the back. The focus of the pose should be the back. And in Hadi's pose, I'm focused more on the glutes and hamstrings. That's what stands out more to me.
That's what I mean. The first thing I see in Hadi's pose is his fucking arse. I'm sorry to say, like, you know. Not because I'm gay, but I'm just saying it's just what you see. But I would give that to Dorian, me personally.
Yeah. I just prefer the way Dorian hit. I prefer the way a lot of the poses were hit back in the day compared to now. Now it seems to be more who can take up the most space on stage, whether or not it looks good or not.
Oh, I know a lot of people are going to say, oh my God, are you fucking blind? Look at how these glutes and shit. No, but the thing about it is that I'm just looking at, you know, they're holding it totally different here. If Dorian put his legs wide like Hadi did, you know,
Dorian had the calves as well, didn't he? Which Hadi has.
Yeah, and you can't see Dorian's calves on that pose either.
I mean, people don't really talk about Dorian's glutes, but he did have like striated glutes.
Yeah.
Well, that picture's 30 years old, and you can still see the detail coming through. So,
I think I'll give that one to Dorian.
Yeah.
Because he's got better condition in his lower back as well.
Yeah,
so,
it doesn't look soft.
Especially when you think about them pulling back into the lat spread first.
I think, me personally, them wedging the shorts up your trunks up your arse is not needed, mate. Sorry,
it's not.
No.
It's all right if you've got fucking glutes like Ronnie Coleman.
No, but still, why do you need to wedge up your arse? I'm sorry, it doesn't need to be. You know what I mean?
It's so it catches your eye, Zach. That's why.
Okay, so Dorian's won that pose, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, next pose, we'll do side tricep. I couldn't actually get a proper picture of the tricep from Hadi.
Yeah. That's the way he hits it, though, right? That's the way Hadi hits it. I think, for me, it's lights out. Dorian's side tricep's the best side tricep of all time, anyway.
Listen, side tricep should be side tricep, innit? You know what I mean? So, that for me, that's a Dorian on that one.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, that is probably the most famous pose.
look how hard it is for us to make a decision between these two. So people saying, oh, Dorian easily beats Hadi. It's not easy, man. It's not easy.
No.
We have people out there who 100% think Hadi beats Dorian, which is fair. Listen, this is just our opinion. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
100%.
Don't send me no death threats, please.
So Dorian, side tricep.
Yeah.
Next pose, abs and thighs.
Oh, can you bring that pose back again? That side tricep. You know, one thing a lot of bodybuilders don't have nowadays, which Hadi's got and Dorian's got, the fucking serratus on the side, man.
Costals, yeah.
Serratus, obliques, yeah.
People don't have that fucking no more. Why is that?
Is that just low levels of body fat, or?
Well, I don't know, because people probably put it down to overall weight, right? But then, Zach, you competed at fucking 290 pounds on stage. Yeah. You know, and you had a tight midsection with detail coming through the side.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying to you. But the thing is, you have to train their muscles. Do you know what I mean? It has to be trained. I'm sorry.
Do you think they train them directly, or do you think it's just the core from like squatting and lifting and stuff like that?
Indirectly, mate. Only some people get away with fucking indirect training. You know what I mean? It's like,
well, you look at the best midsections of all time. You know, you're looking at probably Hadi's in there. You know, Milot is in there. Flex Wheeler. They all train ab directly.
Mate, Charles Clement, Flex Wheeler, Sean Ray.
Razor sharp through the midsection.
A blade sharp, mate.
All right, we'll go to abs and thighs then.
For me personally, this is a difficult shot, but I'd probably give it to Dorian.
Fucking hell.
I'll give that to the lats from the front. I don't like the way Hadi's arms look in the shot. I think they look a bit jimmied up in the bicep.
I would say I would give it to Dorian for the floor, but if we're talking about abs and thighs, there
details,
I would give it to Hadi.
Yeah, that's fair.
You can only pick one.
Like you said on the last one, we're talking about the lats there, so we have to be fair on this one and say abs and thighs. My eyes direct to Hadi's abs and thighs. I'm sorry to say, because it's the picture and because thighs are all out more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What about Yeah, I agree with you. Actually, I think overall Dorian's flow is better in the pose.
I like the way Dorian is holding the pose. That is a textbook example.
Do you think it's because Dorian's abs wasn't that great? He sort of knew not to crunch him down too hard.
Yeah.
Because his abs weren't symmetrical, were they?
No, but the thing about it is the way Dorian is holding that pose with his arms and everything, it looks nice. But the way his arms are out too much, it doesn't look. But the thing about it, we're talking about abs and thighs.
That picture, Dorian, it might be mid pose, right? He's not fully flexed, so
yeah. But
we're giving that to Hadi.
Yeah, I would have to give it to Hadi. We're going to play fair with what we did with the lats.
Yeah, his midsections.
Yeah,
you can't fault that, really, can
you? No.
Next pose, most muscular.
Hadi for me.
Actually, I prefer Dorian's.
Yeah, I didn't like Dorian's most muscular.
I like the crab shot more.
But it looks good there, though.
Yeah, it does. Did we have back double biceps on this list, by the way?
You two talk amongst yourselves. So I'm going to go find the double bicep.
Yeah, back to the most muscular, everyone. I think,
like from that picture, I don't know. Dorian looks more nicer.
Yeah. It does. Yeah. From in these two specific shots, I agree with you. Hadi's arms look a bit small because of the forearms.
But with Hadi is his shoulders, man. They look too fucking jimmied up, don't they? There, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and because he doesn't have thick forearms as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like the flow of Dorian's chest, shoulders, arms, and legs go together, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
It's more of an imposing physique, and I think as well, if you stood them both next to each other with the height difference, and
I think you know what, the 90s posing should come back. Look the way Dorian holds them posing in the 90s compared to the guys are putting their legs too wide apart now. Don't you think?
Especially Derek Lunsford when he came on. So
he
was like riding a horse.
That's just fucking stupid. He's like fucking riding on the stage like Lone Ranger.
So you'll have to you'll be the decider on this one.
I'll give that Hadi. Most muscular.
And who do you give it to?
Hadi.
Can't.
Eh?
Dorian.
I'll give it Dorian.
Okay.
Fuck you, Simon.
Right, so this is a shit picture of Hadi. That's the only one I could get.
Well, fair. I don't think anyone's going to complain. This is Dorian's shot, lights out.
Listen, so coming from this, Dorian's only won by one shot, you know.
Well, we've had Hadi win 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So you know all these fucking internet fucking geeks were saying Dorian would win by a mile. Not really.
Yeah.
Obviously,
we don't have them under the same lights next to each other, but
yeah, exactly.
Hypothetically, it would be very close.
Like I said to you,
closer than people think.
Yeah, I think it's probably a very, very similar situation to Sean Ray 96. Because I know the argument was there for Sean being more complete bodybuilder on the day and equally as conditioned and whatnot. So it could be a similar scenario to that.
You know what I would like to see is somebody do like a hologram of Dorian at his best there, and
awesome.
On stage.
Have you seen that thing that's gone on Instagram where they put Ronnie Coleman 2003 amongst last year's lineup?
Yeah.
And someone goes, I didn't know Ronnie Coleman was 6'2". He's made taller.
That's what the problem is, and when they're doing these fucking side by side poses, they're fucking scaling them like stupid.
Yeah.
Like, at least if you're gonna fucking do it, spend some time scaling them to the right fucking height at least. Then it'd be worthwhile. You know what I mean? But what I can say to you is seeing Ronnie Coleman in the flesh, seeing Dorian in his flesh, I can tell you, you've never ever seen human beings like that ever before in your fucking life.
When did you see that? When did you see Dorian?
I never saw Dorian compete, but I saw him off.
You never seen him compete, Zach?
Sorry?
You never seen Dorian compete, even at the Grand Prix?
No, I never saw him compete.
You're yourself a fucking bodybuilding fan.
Fucking young then. He retired. Yeah.
I seen Dorian do his first Grand Prix 91 when he won the night of the champion. He won the British Grand Prix, then he won the night of the champions, and he got second at the Olympia.
Yeah.
91.
Was that the red curtain show?
Oh, fucking hell, I can't remember now.
Did he still have the mullet?
He had his mullet.
Yeah. Same one, yeah.
You told me you've seen Dorian and you've seen fucking all these bodybuilders. Who actually sticks in your mind and thinks, fuck me, I've never seen anybody like that?
Thing is, when I seen Dorian at the Grand Prix, he wasn't at his best. I seen him compete 91 Grand Prix, 92 Grand Prix the day after he won his Olympia, 94 Grand Prix when he didn't look that great, and 96 Grand Prix. So he wasn't the best. Yeah. I think my most impressive Olympia was Ronnie in his first Olympia, 98.
Yeah.
That was just fucking another level.
When Ronnie came on stage with the fucking... Do you remember when he came as Moses?
Yeah, Zeus one year and Moses the next.
Yeah.
2004, wasn't it?
Mate, I'm telling you, when you took that fucking outfit off there, everybody in the audience shit themselves.
Can you pull it up, Si?
What year we're talking?
I think
Mate,
it's Moses. I think was 2004 or 2005.
mate, I'm telling you, people shit themselves on stage. Nobody in that stage was fucking talking. All they were like going were like, oh my fucking God, what's that?
You think they should bring something like that back?
I don't know. They just let Ronnie do it because he was fucking Ronnie Coleman. I don't think they would let everybody do it because it would not look good. You know what I mean? But if they want to have props on stage, why not? Because the fitness women do. And they have some of the most fucking stupid props I've seen in my life. It's like,
do you know that Missy Truscott? She came on as a fucking shark.
Yeah. and won the title. So
see what I mean? What the hell has that got to do with the fucking show?
Yeah. Sorry, were you there in 2012?
I was here.
Yeah.
Did you see the Olympias at?
That's when Kai got second, isn't it?
Yeah, because someone asked in my question box. Another good comparison could be 2012 Kai Green versus Hadi Choopan.
But Hadi Choopan never won the fucking Olympia though. Thingy.
I agree.
Olympia.
Is this what I'm talking about?
Yeah, here we go.
So
he's also got two massive pieces of bread.
How could they let him compete with the fucking props? Imagine Dorian doing that. in his dungarees.
Time to raise the roof.
I don't think Dorian would ever do that though, but it's not his style.
Nah.
Mate, you've got a beard. We can see you there. Take it off.
He could.
Did Dorian? It looks smooth there, doesn't it? This ain't guest spot, is it?
No.
Did he win?
2004 Olympia, wasn't it?
2006. This is.
Mate, this one he lost.
Man, you see this like when you took this shit off there, man. It was the craziest thing you ever fucking seen.
Was it 2005 when he was dressed as the king?
It must have been. Mate, you just stood there like, they're coming out. You should hear the fucking crowd. And when it comes out the light, mate, it was fucking mad.
I do think one thing that is missing now from the sport is characters.
Yeah. And you find that noticeable when it came to the press conference.
Yeah. There's a lack of charisma.
You got Blessing.
Yes, but yeah.
Blessing there would be awesome, if he was
the physique to back it up.
If he was a first call out guy and you were talking shit like that, it would be fucking awesome.
Yeah. It's all because I suppose obviously Crizzo and he was having some shit and talking to people. It's similar to Titus and Kamali thing. They're not going to win the show, but they add entertainment value, which is great. But don't say you're going to win the fucking show.
Yeah, but Crizzo didn't say that, did he? He just said
no. He's just going to come in and see how he fares.
Yeah, and you know what? I respect that. You know what I mean? I respect that. At least
this is 98.
This is 98. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, this was it. When did he first win his Olympia?
Yeah, I was there. This is 98. It's his first Olympia. I think that's probably condition-wise.
This was like the best version of him without the size in it, mate. He had everything here. He didn't have
the size there.
Yeah, he didn't have to be any bigger.
No, and he was 250 something here as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He didn't have to get any bigger though.
He turned his lower back.
Look at that back. Look at that fucking back.
Does this version of Ronnie beat Dorian at his best to you?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I think he's got more.
He's just got more detail than Dorian.
It's more full muscle bellies on a similar
It's freakier, I'd say. It's freakier.
Yeah. That's the thing I've noticed with Ronnie. There's very few full muscle belly type physiques who are dense and grainy at the same time. Ronnie's the only one. You can't think of anybody. Maybe Lee Haney, but you can't think of anybody else.
No.
It's fucking insane.
No.
Do
you think that would win this year's Olympia or last year's?
I think that would win any Olympia of any time. To be honest, maybe, but. What we were talking about as well. Does 98 Ronnie Coleman beat 2011 Phil Heath?
I think he's more impressive. I was there. I was at 98 and I was at 2011, and I think Ronnie, he's more overpowering.
Yeah, he's a bigger human being, isn't he?
I think Phil's more rounder, but if Ronnie was to stand next to Phil, I think he'd dwarf him.
Yeah.
Mate, that's what I mean. You know, sometimes people like gotta realize more is better.
No.
You know what I mean? It's like, what Ronnie did, he paid the price for it, which he doesn't regret, you know what I mean? But which is great. But
you go back history, every Mr. Olympia that's got bigger hasn't got better. Dorian, Ronnie, Rami.
That's why I don't understand why people don't learn from history.
And the biggest bodybuilders,
it's heaviest. He looked worse, didn't he? Yeah. They say 2011 was his best Olympia, and he was at his lightest.
I think I personally prefer 2013, but 2011's it's untouchable, really. Well, 2013, Phil got the one-man call-out, didn't he?
Did it?
Yeah, it was just him, and they sent him back in line, and he didn't have to pose again.
Yeah.
You were there for that one, weren't you, Si?
I can't remember that one.
This is a little trip through memory lane.
Fucking
for all the fans. People forget how impressive Phil Heath was.
Man, listen, fucking muscle bellies. Fucking, you can't. You know what people don't realize is that you can't train for muscle bellies.
No.
You can't train for that shit. Like, he went from making his back from the weakest body part to the strongest.
Yep.
I think our next video will do 98 Ronnie against 2000 and
if we can, that'll be good.
2013 Phil Heath. But
to me, I think Phil's physique, pose for pose, is the closest thing to perfection you can get.
Phil's physique is more fucking aesthetic pleasing to look at as well, isn't it? Like, it's just, I don't know, it's just different compared to Ronnie's, you know what I mean?
Ronnie's just a freak, isn't he?
Yeah.
But it would have been awesome to have seen, like,
the
best versions next to each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So if anyone's good at making holograms, Zach's willing to pay.
Remember when they did that Tupac hologram on stage? Fucking they should do Olympia with how much money they fucking got. Could you imagine bringing up a past fucking hologram champion on stage like that? It would be fucking mental, wouldn't it?
Take the Olympia to Dubai. I'm sure they'll sort it out.
They did it with the ABBA concert.
Fucking hell. Like, just fucking crazy, man. Crazy. Like, one thing I'm glad is that I was brought up in the era of, the best bodybuilding. You know what I mean? It was fucking great to see.
Yeah.
And the problem with the kids nowadays, it's normal for them to like see these physiques and see everything. I think for them it's best, so you can't blame them. Like, how many of them actually really know the history to their sport? They don't know the history to their sport. A lot of them follow classic bodybuilding and they think that's the history. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know who Lee Haney is or Dorian Yates is.
It's crazy. Lee Haney, arguably, he's still the greatest bodybuilder of all time overall. Not to me, Ronnie is, but the record speaks for itself.
But I tell you one thing, Lee Haney is the most fucking underrated Mr. Olympia.
Yeah, 100%.
Because he's won it the fucking most there, and his name never even gets popped up into a conversation.
And he won his first Olympia. He won his first Olympia at 24 years old.
Crazy. Retired at what, 31? 31. Arguably, didn't even reach his peak. There's a hypothetical question, but I was looking back because obviously I was trying to grab some pics of Dorian from 93 and a few pictures from 91 came up. And I was thinking, if Lee had carried on for 3-4 years, how much bigger would he have gotten? How much better would he have gotten?
I think Lee, the last Olympia was his biggest, his heaviest winning, and he said he finally learned how to peak after like 8 Olympias.
Yeah.
I don't think Lee was chasing the size game because he was always the biggest in the class. And I think
34, 35 years old against Dorian, who was just a little bit younger than him.
I think Lee Haney in 91 would have beat Dorian 92. Everyone,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah. I think Dorian 93 would have beat Lee Haney 91.
I think Kevin Levrone was very close to Dorian 92.
Oh yeah,
especially from the front.
You know what? I saw him at the Grand Prix the day after he won Helsinki, and I thought Kevin had him. I thought Kevin should have beaten him from the front.
yeah.
Obviously, different story from the back.
He was fucking peeled from the front.
And that's another thing. You know, the Kevin's best version I saw of him was when he won Night of the Champions.
Well, yeah. Do you know what? I was talking to my mate Gary Phillips. Yeah, it says there's no footage from the Night of the Champions. Something to do with the broadcasting rights. There's no footage.
That's a shame.
Yeah, from
Mate, you know, if you look at pictures from that fucking time, that was Kevin's first pro show, and he won it, and he fucking detail on his back, everything was fucking crazy.
I think.
Did it still have the ponytail?
Sorry?
I think this version of Kevin's good as well.
Did Kevin still have the ponytail at the Night of the Champions?
No. He just said,
Because when he turned pro, he looked fucking phenomenal.
mate,
What's this? 94 Arnold?
Yeah.
yeah. He beat Flex Wheeler here, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Flex didn't do this with Arnold.
No, he didn't. That's right. Yeah.
Didn't he? I don't know which
He
one.
won. He beat him when he won his next Arnold.
Man, Kevin just fucking had an awesome fucking physique, man.
And he did well. And obviously, that's a physique that was built off of 6 months of training a year.
And you know something? When you saw him as an amateur with his ponytail and posing to Simply the Best, man, he could beat a lot of guys as an amateur now.
Yeah, he could beat a lot of pros now. I think, you know,
Well,
Kevin, because obviously Kevin started just training every now and then, right, for the competitions. But in the night, was it 91 or 92
What's that?
when Kevin won?
91 when he
He's bigger there than he is in the Arnold show.
Yeah. Man, he looked fucking crazy, man.
Might just be proportions overall, but it's insane.
So when he had his ponytail, he got second to Paul Di Maio. It was
that's the show I'm talking about. Yeah.
This year he won it. I think he was only 23. Yeah.
It's insane.
23, fucking no. You got to remember, you know, these guys in America were all teenage champions.
Yeah. Junior fucking nationals and all that.
They did all teenage shows and all this fucking lot. You know what I mean?
Well, you had Jay Cutler versus Branch Warren at the Nationals, Junior Nationals, didn't you? That 1 year.
Do you remember that 1 year there?
There you go. This is the one.
Yeah,
he looked fucking good this year with his ponytail.
This was an amateur.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
He got second to Paul Di Maio.
Look, I think that's one of his fucking my favorite looks with him. You know.
Me too.
He used to have a Anadrol for breakfast. He told me.
Look at that from the front.
Look at the fullness of him, man. The full.
Yeah. That's the Anadrol.
Fucking no.
Another national, 22 years old. I think I'm going to start trying to be a professional bowler.
Okay,
crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Fucking.
But another one was Tom Prince at the Nationals as well.
Oh yeah, fuck me, he was fucking huge.
What year was that?
1 year.
96.
Yeah, the 1 year the amateur lineup was the Olympia lineup.
Literally.
Yeah.
Did Chris Cormier do this show as well?
No, not this one.
No.
He did the USA's.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
it's good. We'll have to next video. We'll do the top physiques to never win the Mr Olympia.
There we go.
Yeah.
Right then, we're going to call it a day. So thanks for watching. What you guys got planned for the rest of the night?
Not a lot, really, mate.
Pulling the head off it.
Choking the chickens, though.
Choking the fuck out of that motherfucker. I'm going on bigbootyhose.com.
Okay, so let's wrap this over. Yeah, Dorian won by one
Yeah.
point.
Listen,
Again, as well though, if the show was judged the way it was judged in the 90s, symmetry round, muscularity round, it's a completely different story as well.
and one thing we realized also was that the posing were better then as well. The way they poses. You know
It's
what I mean?
like who was I listening to? Sean Ray said in an interview. He said, "You remember like from the 90s, you remember people's posing routines. So when's the last time you remember someone's posing routine for the Olympics in the last 10 years?"
We talked about that in the car on the way back from the Arnold UK, didn't he? As well.
There's nothing memorable now.
No, Samson's routine at the 2021 Arnold was amazing because I was there. The atmosphere was fantastic when he did his tribute to John Meadows. That was great. But ever since then, there's no routine that stands out to me.
You remember Sean Ray's routines, like Flex's routine, Kevin's routine. You remember the music they posed to. But nothing stands out.
Vince Taylor when he did the fucking
Macarena.
The perfect example is you fucking remembered people's posing. So when Samson did his tributes, you remember tributes because they had their own style. Do you remember the best poser for me forever was Mohammed Makaway? Fuck me. He could fucking pose. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Didn't they bring him out on a horse at the night, elephant at the Night of the Champions?
Yeah, and a lot of the pros had learned from Mohammed and Ed Corney and John Brown and people like that.
Yeah, and even Francis Bonfato, when he walked up on stage, it was like
1990 Olympia.
Yeah, like a fucking horse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Amazing, man. And you would have goosebumps watching these guys. You know.
We got a choice then for next week. Are we doing the best posers of all time, or are we doing the best to never win the Olympia?
Well, we could do both in the same podcast, can't we?
Yeah,
half an hour each.
The best poses. Pick some best posing routine because people don't realize how good posing was before.
Yeah. I'll put a poll on the YouTube.
Yeah, I think Mohammed, where you need to bring up from the Olympia.
Bob Parrott.
When he does it to Chariots of Fire, you know what I mean? Francis Bonfato.
Lila Brada,
who else now? There was fucking loads, Vince Taylor.
Vince Taylor.
Have you noticed they're all people from the 80s and 90s? No one from like this generation.
What's it? Melvin Anthony was very good.
Yeah, Melvin. Yeah. You know what? I'll try and get Melvin on the podcast next week. I'll try.
I think it'll be good for the best posers.
Yeah, he had some funny stories about King Kamali, about him trying to shoot King Kamali at one of the shows.
All right, guys.
All right.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week. Adios.
Catch you later.
Okay, so thanks for watching this podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and next week we're going to go for the best poser of all time and also the top competitors to never win the Mr Olympia. So it's going to be a good one. So drop a comment in the box below who you would like to see as best poser and also your best Olympic competitor to never win the Olympia.